Hello everyone, I am Akhi Maruti, Assistant Professor, Department of Commerce, SKNJ, GFGC Gangavati, Akhi Maruti at gmail.com. I mean my email ID. My dear friends, today we will discuss about contemporary issues in accounting subject VSKUB University. VSKUB prescribed by the syllabus. In this subject, we will going to discuss accounting for intangibles, module number 4. These are the very important concept for you people. Please keep watch up to end or till the end, because it's very important to you people. I referred many books, articles for providing a good material to you people. I hope all of you watch till the end. So don't waste your data for unnecessary TikToks or charts or anything games. So try to focus this type of videos for you people. It will help you. It will help to you people. Okay. In this slide, we can find, or as we can see, synopsis outline or outline objectives or contents of today's session or today's class. Let us discuss first one, meaning of intangible assets, types of intangible assets. We were spoke on these topics in the earlier videos. For the sake of remembrance, I put some one or two slides regarding this. Amortization of intangible assets or impairment of intangible assets. Okay. Internally generated intangible assets. Then summary of intangible assets. Then finally references. This is the agenda of today's class. The whole agenda of today's class. Let's move one by one. Slides. Keep watch willingly, then only people can get good knowledge. Along with, I will get very beautiful and wonderful slides. Okay. Next. Look at the slide. As you people watching, or as you can see this picture or the slide, meaning, objectives, importance. So what do you mean by intangibles or accounting for intangibles or intangible assets? My dear friends, I could explain in the last videos. For recall purpose, I put again in this video one slide for remember purpose. All those assets which do not have any physical existence or substance or which cannot be touched, feel and see, they cannot be they cannot be measured or are quantified or called intangible assets. Those assets cannot be touched, cannot be seen. Though those have not any physical existence or called intangible assets. Along with, they cannot be measured, they cannot be quantified. Okay. Then apart from the meaning, they do not have any risk from human being activities. That is example, what are the human being activities usually they do not have any risk from the human being activities, means theft, destroyed, or any accident happened at business premises. These are the usually occurred risk from human being activities. These assets are overcome the human being activities. So that is why most of the businesses do not need to get insurance of these type of assets. ಈ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ರೀತಿಯಿಂದ ಹ್ಯೂಮನ್ ಬೀಯಿಂಗ್ ಆಕ್ಟಿವಿಟೀಸು ರಿಸ್ಕ್ ಇರಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಇಂಥ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸನ್ನು ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಇನ್ಶೂರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬೇಕಾಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ಆದರೆ ಯಾವ ಥರ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್? ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್, ಪೇಟೆಂಟ್ಸ್, ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ನೇಮ್, ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್, software. These are do not comes under or risk from human being activities like theft, destroyed, any accident happened at business premises. Along with what I where I was stopped, computer software. Okay, let us continue. The lifespan of intangible assets have two ways. Intangible assets ಎರಡು ತರಹದ ಲೈಫ್ ಸ್ಪ್ಯಾನ್ ಇದೆ. ಒಂದು ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ means what? Definite life period which have fixed expiry period. ಯಾವ ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೈರಿ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೋ ಅವೆಲ್ಲ ಡೆಫಿನೆಟ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ನೀವೇನಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್, ಇಫ್ ಯು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಎನಿ ಕಂಪ್ಯೂಟರ್ ಸಾಫ್ಟ್ವೇರ್ ಇಟ್ ಲೀಡ್ಸ್ 1 year. Example, if you want to purchase antivirus, it's only 1 year guarantee. Second one, indefinite. Those indefinite means what? Those have not a fixed expiry period. Indefinite means which have not a fixed expiry period. Example, entity trade name. Entity means here any business enterprises or company trade name. Until the company still survive, the trade name will be existence. Trade name will be existence. ಅಂದರೆ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಕಂಪ್ನಿ ಸ್ಥಾಪನೆ ಜೀವಂತವಾಗಿರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ನ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿಯ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಹಾಗೆ ಮುಂದಿನ ದಿನಗಳವರೆಗೂ ಎಷ್ಟು ದಿವಸವರ ಕಾಲ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಷ್ಟು ದಿನಗಳ ಕಾಲ ಅದು ತನ್ನ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವವನ್ನು ಉಳಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತದೆ. ಹಾಗೆ ಇದು ಇಂಡೆಫಿನಿಟ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. What are the objectives of intangibles? I could explain in the last video. I want to repeat. I want to recap for you people or rehearse. I wanted to recall to you people. Due to that, I put these lines to you people for the sake of remembrance. Objectives: identification of intangible requirements, measuring the cost of intangibles, measuring the cost on intangibles. Third one, collection of data. Fourth one, amortization of cost. Fifth one, reflecting the same in financial statement. And finally, interpreting the results or result. These are the objectives. Why intangible assets means identification of intangible requirement. Identification means to trace some intangible, what are the intangible requirements are required for any business enterprise. So measuring the cost of intangibles, how much amount of cost or how much cost should be incurred on intangibles for measuring purpose. Then how much amount should be incurred for the collection of data. Then how the business enterprises collect the data in the form of intangible assets. Then what should be what or how much or how the amortization cost incurred for intangibles. Then reflecting the same in financial statement, whether the intangible assets show in financial statement or not. Then after showing the intangible assets, there is an interpreting of the result. These are the objectives of intangibles. Then what are the significance or importance of intangibles? Means they provide barriers to entry. They provide barriers to entry. Example, here intangible assets do not allow any copy paste. It means that barriers to entry. Next, differentiate products. They can, intangible assets indirectly helps to differentiate the products from by one company to another company or one business enterprise to another business enterprises. A more stable and profitable earnings stream. Here intangible assets in the meaning or in the second para I quoted that they do not have any risk from human beings activities, like that they are a more stable and profitable earning stream. Then long life, example brand, trademark. Intangible assets have maintaining long life until the companies exists, like brand, trademark, okay, may prove international recognition. Intangible assets helps to recognize in the national level or international level, etc. These are the meaning, objectives and importance. Let us move the another slide. Types of intangible assets. First one here, goodwill. Goodwill, it is the present value of future earnings in excess of the normal return on net identifiable assets. It is a common meaning you can find in everywhere. Another simple meaning is there, or another short meaning. Goodwill is equal to acquisition price minus net assets. Acquisition price, goodwill is equal to acquisition price minus net assets. We will get goodwill. It is the present value, but future earnings. ನಮಗೆ ಪ್ರೆಸೆಂಟ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗೆ ಫ್ಯೂಚರ್ ಅರ್ನಿಂಗ್ಸ್ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ನಮಗೆ ಹೆಲ್ಪ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಇಂಡೈರೆಕ್ಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಐಡೆಂಟಿಫೈಯಬಲ್ ಗುರುತಿಸಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥದ್ದು ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್. The goodwill can be classified into two types or classified into two categories. Purchase goodwill. Purchase goodwill, it arises on the acquisition of one business by another. Means, for example, if the company wants to purchase another company, you people learn in BCom third semester absorption company, amalgamation of companies, holding companies, like that. So here arises of acquisition of one business by another. It defined as the excess of price of the acquired business over the fair value of its net tangible assets and indefinable or identifiable or unidentifiable intangible assets. Net tangible assets and identifiable intangible assets. It means say that excess of purchase price minus net tangible and intangible or identifiable intangible assets is equal to purchased of goodwill. Purchase of goodwill can be shown in balance sheet. But second one, internally generated goodwill or another synonym word is there, non-purchased goodwill. It is developed by the firm itself. The firm itself internally developed non-purchased goodwill. Example, managerial talent, labor force. These are the internally established by or created by or generated by company. Such non-purchased goodwill is not recognized in the balance sheet. But purchased goodwill should be shown in balance sheet. But non-purchased goodwill may not be shown in the new balance sheet. As per the International Financial Reporting Standards, does not recognize internally developed goodwill as an asset, but it recognizes. As per IFRS, doesn't recognize internally shortcut IDG or non-purchased goodwill, NPG. It should not be considered as asset, but it can be recognized. Okay, next, estimating internally generated goodwill. Okay, in the last slide I could explain two types of goodwill, purchased and non-purchased goodwill. So here non-purchased goodwill can be used estimating the internally generated goodwill. Two methods are used. First here, value of business as a whole. Then subtract the current market value of the identifiable asset. Here, estimating internally generated goodwill can be calculated in two ways. Here it says that the value the business as a whole and subtract the current market value of net identifiable assets. The current market value is determined from the price earning ratio, PE ratio. Example, here XYZ company sells for 5 times annually earnings. The yearly income 2 billion under $2 million or 2 crore. Example, we expect what depend upon our perception, 2 million or 2 lakh or 2000. Okay, the value of the business is rupees 10 million or 10,000 or 10 lakh. The net identifiable assets are 8 billion. So goodwill is 10 minus 8. Dollar means $10 million minus under 8 million. Subtracted from these we got under $2 million. It means that it is on the basis of value of the business whole and subtract and determine price earning ratio. Second one, capitalize the amount by which earnings exceed normal amounts. Capitalizing an earnings stream is done by dividing those earnings by the investor's rate of return. It means that amount available here under capitalized method, or capitalize the amount means amount of EPS or price earning ratio is equal to amount available to shareholders divided by number of equity shares, or the capitalizing an earnings stream is done by dividing the earnings by the investor rate of return. Earnings or shortcut, earnings divided by rate of return. With the two sub methods we can estimating internally generated goodwill. Here estimating the purchased goodwill. Goodwill in financial statement arises when a company is purchased more than the book value of the company. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವಾಗ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ಅನ್ನು ಫೈನಾನ್ಸ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ ಅರೇಸ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಸತಿ ಕಂಪನಿ ಒಂದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಹೆಚ್ಚು ಬಾರಿ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ನ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ, ಅಥವಾ ಇನ್ನು ಶಾರ್ಟ್ಕಟ್ ಆಗಿ ಹೇಳೋದಾದರೆ ಡಿಫರೆನ್ಸ್ ಬಿಟ್ವೀನ್ ಪಿ ಸಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್. ಪಿ ಸಿ ಮೈನಸ್ ನೆಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು goodwill. The acquiring company must recognize, acquiring company means purchasing company must recognize how much amount of goodwill will be balanced or will balance show in the balance sheet. Then goodwill should be treated as an asset. Negative goodwill refers to the acquisition for a company an amount less than the fair value of its net assets. It means a shortcut form, purchase price or acquisition price minus net tangible and identifiable intangible assets is equal to goodwill. The goodwill will be shown as per estimating purchased goodwill. Here estimating internally generated goodwill, here estimating purchased goodwill. ಎರಡು goodwill ಇಂದಿಲ್ಲ, ಅದರ ಬಗ್ಗೆ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪ್ಲೇನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ದು ಆಯಿತು. ಸೊ ಇದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಸಿಲೆಬಸ್ಸಲ್ಲಿ ಕೂಡ ಇದೆ. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಈ ಸ್ಲೈಡ್ ಏನಿದೆ ಅಂದರೆ, as you can see this picture or the slide, most goodwill never gets recorded. Many businesses develop goodwill internally, like managerial skill, managerial talent, or any internally brand made some managers like that. So there is no objective way of determining it. So it is not included in the accounting records despite being an important asset. Goodwill or bad judgment. Here question arises, goodwill or bad judgment? No. Use amounts paid for goodwill only to discover that the business does not continue to earn above average rate of return. It means say that goodwill always expects more than normal profit. It means goodwill helps to earn more than normal profit. It means say that use amounts paid for goodwill only to discover that business doesn't continue to earn above average rates of return. Next, if goodwill has no economic value. Example, if the goodwill doesn't have any economic value, then automatically written off immediately or written off immediately. If goodwill has no economic value, written off immediately. This is the simple theme on goodwill. Next, first intangible asset is over. Second is patents. Another intangible asset or a common example or most common examples or most common type of intangible assets. Goodwill, first is over. Second one, patent. Patent is an intangible asset issued by the federal government, giving its owner the exclusive legal right to the commercial benefit of a specified product or process. They are generated internally or can be purchased. Patent doesn't have inherent protection from infringement. In the USA or in the US, the US Patent Office issues patent for 17 years. However, economically useful life may be much shorter if technology development rendered the product or process obsolete. Here, so what do you mean by patent? I put one example, Windows 98, Windows 10. These like a patents. It means that these are issued by the federal government for exclusive legal right to commercial benefit of a specified product. Specified product, I put one example here, patent. No, Windows here, Windows 98. This is the one of the patent. Patents cannot be reproduced or copied or do not copied by any other people or any other member of or citizen of the India or citizen of any America or anything. For example, purchase price rupees 25,000, economic value is economic life 5 years and the legal life is 8 years. You should be written off within the economic life 5 years. I mean 25,000 divided by 5 is equal to 5 5s are 25, means 5,000. Here journal entry, amortization expenses, account debtor to patent. Amortization expense account debtor to patent account. Patent is a form of intellectual property that gives its owner the legal right to exclude others from making, using, selling and importing on inventions for a limited period of years. Limited period of years means here limited period is 8 years legal life, but in the economic life, on the basis of economic life, the patents can be amortized or are written off with the help of 25,000 divided by 5. I mean cost of patent minus residual value divided by life of span or estimated life or economic life. I would like to quote, but I couldn't mention in the slide. What are the examples of patents? Google, a method for allocating communication resources to wireless device. It is one example of one patent. Another example, Thomson licensing, system and method for scaling images. Second example of patent. Third one, Cisco, CISCO. Cisco means another patent example. Video, Cisco means video compositing of an arbitrary number of sources streams using flexible micro black ordering. These are the examples of patent. Okay, next move another common example or most important of intangible assets. Next slide ಗೆ ಹೋಗೋಣ. ಇನ್ನೊಂದೇನು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಇದೆ intangible assets ಅಂದ್ರೆ okay, third one, copyrights. A copyright is an intangible asset that gives its owner an exclusive legal right to the reproduction and sale of a literary or artist's work. It is granted by federal government. It is similar to patents. It is same. It is granted by the federal government and lasts for the life of creator plus 50 years. Normally, creator, who is the creator? Example, if you people opt any copyrights, like if you want to write any textbooks or any software developments or artworks, any photos or any videos framing, then it comes under copyrights. I mean, it is creator plus for the loss for the life of the creator plus 50 years. Their legal life is very small, but the economic life is limited to the period for which commercial market exists for the publication. Copyrights are amortized over a short period of time. Every intangible assets should be amortized instead of depreciation, amortized over a short period. Example, 5 years, 10 years, okay, 15 years, like that. If the fee to establish a copyright is minimal, it is treated of as an expenses. Any copyrights to establish then has to pay fee. The fee should be treated as expenses. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನೀವೊಂದು ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬುಕ್ ಬರೀಬೇಕು ಅಂದ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ವಿಡಿಯೋನ ಫ್ರೇಮ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಸಾಂಗನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಆರ್ಟಿಟಿಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ವರ್ಕ್ ಅಥವಾ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀರ, ಆ ಪೇಂಟಿಂಗನ್ನು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಡೆತನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ನೀವು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬುಕ್ ಅದು ನಿಮ್ಮ ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್, ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಡೆತನಕ್ಕೆ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಿಸ್ಕೋಬೇಕು ಅಂದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಒಂದು ಫೋಟೋವನ್ನು ಅಥವಾ ಫೋಟೋ ಫ್ರೇಮನ್ನು ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಅದನ್ನು ಪೇಂಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಹೊರಗಡೆ ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಬುಕ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ನೀವು ಬರೆದಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಎನಿ PDF ಫಾರ್ಮ್ ನೋಟ್ಸನ್ನು ರೀಪ್ರೊಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಥವಾ ಏನಾದರೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಹೊರಗಡೆ ತರಬೇಕು ಅಂದಾಗ ಅದನ್ನು ರೀಪಬ್ಲಿಷ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅಲ್ಲಿ ಆಟೋಮೆಟಿಕ್ಕಾಗಿ ನೀವು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸನ್ನು ಪೇ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ದಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಅಂಥದ್ದು ಏನಾದರೂ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಆ ಥರದ್ದು ಖರ್ಚುಗಳೇನಾದರೂ ಭರಿಸ್ಬೇಕಂದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್. ವೆನ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್, ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಓನರ್, ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಓನರ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನೀವೇ ಓನರ್ ಇದ್ದೀರಿ, ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಕಂಪನಿ ನಿಮ್ಮ ಒಂದು ಕಾಪಿರೈಟನ್ನು, ಕೆಲವೊಬ್ಬರೆಲ್ಲ ಆರ್ಟಿಸ್ಟಿಕ್ಸ್ ಎಲ್ಲ ವರ್ಕ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾರೆ, ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಮೌಸ್ ಏನಾದರೂ ಒಂದು ವೈರ್ಲೆಸ್ ಮೌಸನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರು ಅಥವಾ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರೂ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೆ ಇರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥಂದರೆ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಪೆಟ್ರೋಲ್ ವಿತೌಟ್ ಡೀಸೆಲ್ ಇಲ್ಲದೇ ಚಲಿಸ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೋಟ್ರ್ ಸೈಕಲ್ಸು ಅಥವಾ ಬೈಸಿಕಲ್ಸನ್ನು ಕಂಡುಹಿಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅವ್ರದ್ದು ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್. ಆ ಕಾಪಿರೈಟನ್ನು ಏನಾದರೂ ಮಿಸ್ಟರ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ ಕಂಪನಿಯನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಹಿಯರ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಅದು ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ವೆನ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಎ ಕಾಪಿರೈಟ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ಓನರ್, ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟನ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್. ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲೈಸ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯಂಡ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್. ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್, ನಿಮ್ಮಿಂದ ಏನಾದರೂ ಸ್ವನಿರ್ಮಿತವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ದ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆಂಡಿಚರ್ ಈಸ್ ಆಫ್ಟರ್ ಸಬ್ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್, ಬಟ್ ದ ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಸ್ಟ್ ಕ್ಯಾಪಿಟಲೈಸ್. Company has to incur on intangible, just like this cost and intangible assets. Third one of intangible assets, copyrights. Okay, next here, franchise. A franchise is a right granted by a company or government unit to conduct a certain type of business to in a specific geographical area. When the cost of the franchise is small, it may be charged immediately to expense or amortized over a short period such as 10 years. Here I put one example, McDonald's. They want to example in our India. In India, you can find plenty of KFC, chickens is there, Swiggy, Zomato. They are rendering social service to the public, but instead of if they are rendered social service, but rendering the social service to the public, but consideration is in the form of what? Here, franchise means any foreign company or any Indian company wants to start new branch in any local area, or the example is Mr. X company wants to start a new business in India from different states or different cities, but the head office is located in New Delhi, but they want to expand their business. Immediately, if they want to start any new business, they issue for branches. The head office issue to the branches like franchise. Example, foreign company wants to start like McDonald's. McDonald's here, McDonald here I put name. 58 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಗಿರಾಕಿಗಳಿಗೆ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸುತ್ತದೆ. ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಹ್ಯಾಂಬರ್ಗ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟ್ ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮೂಹ ಇದು. ಜಗತ್ತಿನ ಹ್ಯಾಂಬರ್ಗರ್ ಫಾಸ್ಟ್ ಫುಡ್ ರೆಸ್ಟೋರೆಂಟ್ಗಳು ದೊಡ್ಡ ಸಮೂಹ. ಅಂದರೆ ಇವರು ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾದ್ರೆ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟಿಂದ ದ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸ್ ಈಸ್ ಎ ರೈಟ್ ಗ್ರಾಂಟೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಕಂಪನಿ ಆರ್ ಗೌರ್ಮೆಂಟಿಂದ ಪರ್ಮಿಷನ್ ತಗೊಂಡು ನಮ್ಮ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸನ್ನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಲಿಕ್ಕೆ ಇಷ್ಟಪಟ್ಟರೆ ಅವರು ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಒನ್ ಆಫ್ ಟೈಪ್ ಆಫ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸ್ ದ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸ್. ನಾವು ಯಾವುದೇ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸನ್ನು ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಇನ್ವಿಸಿಬಲ್, ಬಟ್ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸ್ಡ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಬೇಸ್ಡ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಲೈಫ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಸೆಟ್. ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಇಷ್ಟೇ, ಯಾವುದೋ ಒಂದು ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದ ಕಂಪನಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ಒಂದು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ, ಇದು ಚಿತ್ರ. ಇದು ಮ್ಯಾಕ್ಡೊನಾಲ್ಡ್ ತಮ್ಮ ಪ್ರತಿದಿನ 58 ಮಿಲಿಯನ್ ಗ್ರಾಹಕರಿಗೆ ಸೇವೆಯನ್ನು ಸಲ್ಲಿಸ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದಾರೆ ಅಂದಾಗ ಅವರು ಮೂಲತಃ ಬೇರೆ ದೇಶದವರು, ಬಟ್ ನಮ್ಮ ಇಂಡಿಯಾದಲ್ಲಿ ಏನಾದರೂ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಸ್ಟಾರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅಂತ ಹೇಳಿದಾಗ ಅವರಿಗೆ ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದು ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಸ್ಮಾಲ್, ಇಟ್ ಮೇ ಬಿ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ಡ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಅಂತಲೂ ಚಾರ್ಜ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಬಟ್ amortized over a short period such as 10 years. Okay, when the cost is material, amortization should be based on the life of the asset. ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಇದೆ ಲೈಫ್, ಎಕನಾಮಿಕ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಎಷ್ಟಿದೆ ಅಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷದ ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಟರ್ನ್ ಆಫ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇದಾದ ನಂತರ another example and most common type of intangible assets, trademarks, trade names and trade or secret formulas. Trademarks ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಬಹಳಷ್ಟು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ಸ್ ನಾನು ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹಾಕಿದ್ದೀನಿ. TVS, Ford, VIP, Tata, BPL, Infosys, okay, Dow, Maruti, Tata. Okay, what do you mean by trademarks? Trademarks or trade names and secret formulas are means used by the company to build and ensure customers or consumers acceptance for new products. A trademark is any word or name or symbol that is issued by a manufacturer or merchant to identify their goods as a distinct from those made or are sold the others. Trademark ಅಂದರೆ ಗುರುತಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಸಿಂಬಲ್. ಉತ್ಪಾದಕನು ತನ್ನ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ ಮರ್ಚೆಂಟು ತನ್ನ ವಸ್ತುಗಳನ್ನ ಗುರುತಿಸೋದಕ್ಕೋಸ್ಕರ ಈ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನೇಮ್ಗಳನ್ನು ಬಳಸಿಕೊಡ್ತಾನೆ, ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್. ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನೇಮ್. Trade name is a registered business name used by the company to identify itself when providing products or services. Trade name is a registered business name used by a company to identify itself when providing the products or services. This is a registered business name. ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನೇಮ್ ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇರ್ತದೆ ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವ ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ತನ್ನ ಅಸ್ತಿತ್ವವನ್ನು ಎಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ಇರುತ್ತೋ ಅಲ್ಲಿವರೆಗೂ ನಾವೇನು ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ ಈ indefinite period, those assets which have no expiry period, indefinite period, which have no fixed expiry date or expiry period are called trade names. Next, if a trademark or brand name is purchased, the cost may be substantial. Such cost should be capitalized and amortized. The cost may be substantial. Means here, if the cost or if the trademark or brand name is purchased, the cost may be substantial. ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಹಣ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅಥವಾ ಸಾಕಷ್ಟು ದೊಡ್ಡದಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ ಮೊತ್ತ ಅಂಥ ಸಮಯದಲ್ಲಿ if the amount is more, I mean considerable, significant. Substantial means what? Considerable, significant. Considerable, significant means ದೊಡ್ಡ ಪ್ರಮಾಣದಲ್ಲಿ ಗಣನೀಯವಾಗಿದ್ದರೆ. Substantial means the size or worth is big or of consideration of importance. Such cost should be capitalized and amortized. Amortization means systematic way of charging depreciation. We will discuss about the amortization in the next slides. Okay, these are the trade names. Example, I put some logos, some pictures here. Research and development cost. Research and development cost is another example of intangible assets, or most common type of intangible assets. This concept will comes again. Internally generated goodwill we will discuss in deep in the coming slides, but here I would like to quote some important. What do you mean by research? According to IFRS, research is a original and planned investigation undertaken with the prospect of gaining new scientific and technological knowledge and understanding. We will discuss in the depth in the next coming slides. Okay, these one of the research and development costs comes under is the part of intangible assets, or one examples of intangible assets. Development is the application of research or research findings or the other knowledge to plan or a design for the production of new or substantially improved materials, devices, products, process, systems or services before the start of commercial production or use. Research and development costs are expenditures incurred in discovering, planning, designing, implementing a new product or process. These are the part of or most common example of intangible assets. So research are basically meant for investigation and undertaken to gaining of new scientific and technical knowledge and understanding in deep manner is called research. Development is an application for the research. For what purpose? To finding and other knowledge, and to plan and design and process and improved materials, devices or product devices or service devices before the start of commercial production or use. So research and development enhance or helps to discovering, planning and designing and implementing of new products in the market or in the process of new markets. It is the most important topic, and it is a new topic for you people. You people couldn't learn in the previous semesters. So here, deferred charges. Deferred means here, but you people heard the word is deferred revenue expenditure. But here, deferred charges, intangible assets such as moving costs, plant rearrangements costs, name lists, and filling rights are grouped under deferred charges. Majority of the people, you people aware of that films. You people went to have seen many cinemas or movies in the cinema theater. These are comes under moving costs or deferred cost, deferred charges. Comes under intangible assets such as moving cost, plant rearrangements cost, name list and filling rights are grouped under deferred charges. Deferred charges are expenditure that will provide benefits beyond the current year and will be written off to expense over their useful economic lives. It means that another meaning, deferred charges are the charges which are benefited to us more than 2 years. More than 2 years is called deferred charges. This one of the most common example and type of intangible assets. For example, the cost incurred in issuing bonds for funds and those incurred for machinery rearrangement both generate revenue. So, the cost should be allocated to revenue over a reasonable number of years. And the one of the example of deferred charges. Here, the cost incurred on issuing bonds for funds. Example, we could learn issue of shares. Issue for why the company issued the shares to the public, because capital issue for mobilizing the capital or from the public. Same here, issuing the bonds for funds and those incurred for machinery rearrangement. Machineries are tangible assets. For the big machineries, for the purpose of rearrangement of big machineries or plants, usually the company needs money. Due to that, both generate revenue, so the cost should be allocated to revenue over a reasonable number of years. Okay, now let us move next slide. I could explain about in the last slides on meaning, objectives, importance and types of intangible assets. Then as per the VSKV University syllabus, amortization practice. What do you mean by amortization? Amortization can only be used for intangible assets like license, trademarks and patents. Okay, what do you mean by amortization? The depreciable amount of an intangible asset should be allocated on a systematic basis over the best estimate of its useful life. Or another meaning, it is the systematic write-off to expense of the cost of an intangible assets over its useful life. Since it is not indefinite, it may say that those do not have any expiry period. It is parallel depreciation. It means that it's, the SLM. The SLM is the most commonly used. SLM means straight line method. Straight line method of depreciation. Every year depreciation is to be same. It may say that it is a systematic write-off to expense of the cost of an intangible assets. ಅಂದರೆ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿ ವರ್ಷ ಒಂದು ಸ್ಥಿರವಾಗಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಮೊತ್ತವನ್ನು ಸವಕಳಿಯನ್ನಾಗಿ ತೆಗಿತಾ ಹೋಗ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಕ್ರಿಯೆಗೆ ನಾವು ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂತ ಹೇಳ್ತೀವಿ. ಮತ್ತು ಇದನ್ನು ಯಾರು ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರು ಇದನ್ನು ಓವರ್ಕಮ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು, ಯಾರು ಇದನ್ನು ತೆಗೆದು ಹಾಕ್ಬೋದು, ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು? ಯು ಕ್ಯಾನ್ ಓನ್ಲಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಸರ್ಟೇನ್ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ಪರ್ಚೇಸಸ್. ನಾವೇ ಇದನ್ನು ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು ವೆನ್ ದ ಬಿಸ್ನೆಸ್ ವಾಂಟ್ಸ್ ಟು ಪರ್ಚೇಸ್ ನ್ಯೂ. Okay, keep it in your mind. Amortization can only be used for intangible assets like license, trademarks and patents, and it is a systematic way of writing of expenses as a depreciation over a period of time. Amortizing lets you to write off the cost of an item over the duration of assets estimated useful life. If an intangible asset has an indefinite lifespan, it cannot be amortized. That is goodwill. Those assets have indefinite lifespan. The amortization cannot be work. Okay, let us move in the next slide. How amortization works. Stage 1. ಯೂಶ್ವಲಿ ಹೇಗೆ ವರ್ಕ್ ಆಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅನ್ನೋದು? ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಲೈಕ್ ಎ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಥರ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಬಟ್ ಡಿಪ್ರಿಸಿಯೇಷನ್ ಇಲ್ಲ, ಬಟ್ ಎವ್ರಿ ಇಯರ್ ತೆಗಿತೀವಿ. ಅದು ಸ್ಟ್ರೈಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಮೆಥಡ್ ಬೇಸಿಸ್ ಮೇಲೆ. ಫಸ್ಟ್ ಒನ್, ಮೋಸ್ಟ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಲೂಸ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಓವರ್ ಟೈಮ್. ಕೆಲವೊಂದು ಆಸ್ತಿಗಳು ತಮ್ಮ ಮೌಲ್ಯವನ್ನು ಕಳ್ಕೊಳ್ತವೆ. ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಲೆಟ್ಸ್ ಯು quantify gradual losses in your accounting records. You show the decrease in an asset's book value, which can help you reduce your taxable income. The company must or every business enterprises write off intangible assets in the form of amortization every year for the purpose or for the sake of tax burden. This is the first stage. It works like a depreciation, but it is quantify the gradual losses. It's let's you quantify gradual losses. Second one, when an asset brings in money for more than 1 year, you want to write off the cost. You want to write off the cost over a longer time period. Use amortization match an asset expense to the amount of revenue it and generates each year. Stage number 2 or step number 2, it works like write off the cost longer time of period. It indirectly helps to the asset to amortize to the amount as asset expenses and automatically generates revenue in every year. Second stage is over. Third stage, amortization also refers to the repayment of loan principal over the loan period. Third stage, the amortization also refers to the repayment. It means say that ನೀವೆಲ್ಲ ಓದಿರ್ತೀರಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಲೋನ್ ತೊಗೊಂಡ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಬಡ್ಡಿ ಸಮೇತ ಕಟ್ಟಬೇಕಂತ, ಅಸಲು ಬಡ್ಡಿ. ಇದನ್ನು ಅಷ್ಟೇ, ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಇದ್ದಾಗ ಯು ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಡಕ್ಟೆಡ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ರೆಸ್ಪೆಕ್ಟಿವ್ assets or are reserve and surplus. It is a capital, sometimes it should be treated as a capital loss. Okay, next. Okay, how to calculate amortization expenses? First step, to ascertain amortization expenses with the help of formula. First one, initial investment or initial value minus scrap value or residual value divided by lifespan or estimated life. Second step, subtract residual value or scrap value of the asset from its original value, divide that number by the asset's lifespan. Example, ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಅಂದರೆ ಮೊದಲನೇದು ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಫಾರ್ಮುಲಾ ಅಪ್ಲೈ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಆಫ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ಸ್ಕ್ರಾಪ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಡಿವೈಡೆಡ್ ಬೈ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟೆಡ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸ್ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ. ಎರಡನೇ ಸ್ಟೆಪ್ ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತೇನೆ, ಅದೇ ರೆಸಿಡಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ಕಳೀರಿ ಮತ್ತು ಒರಿಜಿನಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಒಳಗಡೆ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ವರ್ಷ ಇದೆ ಎಸ್ಟಿಮೇಟೆಡ್ ಲೈಫು. 10 years ಇದ್ದರೆ 10 years, 5 years ಇದ್ದರೆ 5 years ಮಾಡಿ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 15,000 ಮೈನಸ್ 5,000 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 5 ಇತ್ತು ಅಂದರೆ 5 ವರ್ಷ. 15,000 ಮೈನಸ್ 5,000 ಡಿವೈಡ್ ಬೈ 5 ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸಿಗುತ್ತೆ amortization. Next, third one, record amortization expenses on the income statement under line item called depreciation and amortization. The amortization expenses should be shown under the head of depreciation and amortization. This is the way of calculation and calculating amortization expenses. Okay. Another main topic of impairment loss. It is a new topic for you people. It is part of the it is a part of intangible assets. It comes under intangible assets. What do you mean by impairment loss? Impairment loss means it is the amount by which the carrying amount of an asset or cash generating unit exceeds its recoverable amount. It means say that impairment loss is equal to excess of carrying amount minus recoverable amount. ಇದಕ್ಕೊಂದು ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳೋದಾದ್ರೆ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಇಸ್ ಈಕ್ವಲ್ ಟು ಎಕ್ಸೆಸ್ ಆಫ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಮೈನಸ್ ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಒಂದು ಕಂಪನಿ ಮಾಡಿದಾಗ ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಈಗ ಹೇಳಿದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಒಂದು ಕಾರನ್ನು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಯಾವುದಾದ್ರು ಬೈಕ್ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಒಂದು ವರ್ಷ ಬಳಸ್ದೇನೆ ಹಾಗೆ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ನಾವು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದು ಅಥವಾ ಒಂದು ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪನ್ನು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ, ಒಂದು ಮೊಬೈಲನ್ನು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಳ್ತೀರಿ, ನೀವು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಾದ್ಮೇಲೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಈ ವರ್ಷ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ಅದು ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ನೀವು ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ರೇಟಿಗೆ ಹೋಗಲ್ಲ. ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ 5,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನೀವು ಮೊಬೈಲ್ ಕೊಂಡ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ರೆ ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ಮಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ 4,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಹೋಗುತ್ತೆ. ಸೊ ಮೈನಸ್ 1,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ನಿಮಗೆ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ವಾ, ಅಥವಾ 3,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಸೇಲ್ ಆದರೆ 2,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ, ಅದೇ ಇಂಪೇರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್. ಸಮ್ಟೈಮ್ಸ್ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಕೂಡ ಇಂಪೇರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸಸ್ ಆಗ್ತದೆ. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೇಳ್ತಾನೆ, ಇಟ್ ಈಸ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಬೈ ವಿಚ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಆಫ್ ದ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಆರ್ ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ಯೂನಿಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ರಿಕವರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್. ನಾವು ರಿಕವರಿ ನಾವು ಬರ್ಸಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪು 25,000, 1 ವರ್ಷ ಅಥವಾ 2 ವರ್ಷ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋದನ್ನ ಸೇಲ್ ಮಾಡೋಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಅಥವಾ 15,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿಗೆ ಹೋದರೆ 25,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪು 15,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾರಾಟ ಆದರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಎಷ್ಟು ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು? 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯಿತು. ಅದಕ್ಕೆ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಟನ್ನು ನಮಗೆ ಗಮನದಲ್ಲಿ ಕೊಟ್ಟಿದ್ದಾರೆ, ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ವಾಟ್ ಇಸ್ ದ ಇಂಪಾರ್ಟೆಂಟ್ ನೋಟ್ ಫಾರ್ ಆನ್ ಆನ್ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಮೀನ್ಸ್ an intangible asset should be assessed for impairment loss as per AS 28, Accounting Standard 28, since it is initial recognition. As per the Accounting Standard 28, it should be assessed under intangible assets as an impairment loss, but it is not relevant. It is not relevant whether asset has put to use or not. ಆಸ್ತೇನಪ್ಪ, ಈಗ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್ ಹೇಳಿದ್ನಲ್ಲ, ನೀವು ವರ್ಷ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರಿ, ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಇಯರ್ ನೀವು ಹೊಸ್ದಾಗಿ ತೊಗೊಂಡಿರಿ ಲ್ಯಾಪ್ಟಾಪು, ನೆಕ್ಸ್ಟ್ 1 ವರ್ಷ ಮಾರಕ್ಕೆ ಹೋದರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ನೀವು ಬಳಸ್ಲಿ ಅಥವಾ ಬಳಸದೇ ಇರಲಿ, 1 ವರ್ಷ ನೀವು ಮನೇಲಿ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಿದ್ದೀರಾ. ಸೊ 1 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಏನಾಯಿತು, ಅದು 25,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ 15,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಮಾರಾಟ ಆದರೆ 10,000 ರೂಪಾಯಿ ಲಾಸ್ ಆಯ್ತಲ್ಲ. ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ 28 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಇದನ್ನು ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸನ್ನು ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸೇಷನ್ ಅಂದರೆ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್, ತೋರಿಸಲೇಬೇಕು ಆ್ಯಸ್ ಆನ್ ಎಕ್ಸ್ಪೆನ್ಸಸ್ ಆಗಿ. ಓಕೆ, retirements and disposal of intangible assets. This concept comes under impairment loss. Impairment loss. First one, how the intangible assets retirements and retirement assets should be disposed within or with on or with after. It should be recognized. It should be recognized. The intangible should be recognized, eliminated from the balance sheet on disposal. On disposal, ORR. ORR, disposal, ORR means it should be recognized. ಈ ORR ಅನ್ನೋ ವರ್ಡ್ ಬೈ ಮಿಸ್ಟೇಕ್ ಇದಾಗಿದೆ, ನಾನು ಎರೈಸ್ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಳ್ಳಿ. ಓಕೆ, ಇದನ್ನ erase, sorry, I made mistake here. Retirement and disposals means of intangibles means it should be derecognized or eliminated from the balance sheet. Eliminated from the balance sheet. Please make it is correct. It should be derecognized. First one. Second one, the difference between the net disposal proceeds and carrying amount of the asset should be recognized as an income or expenses in the statement of profit and loss account. It means that in the slide I explain, in the last slide I quote one formula. Impairment loss is equal to carrying cost minus recoverable amount. Here, if carrying cost is more than recover amount is loss. Vice versa means if the carrying cost is less than recoverable or recoverable amount is more than carrying cost, automatically it's treated as income. If it's income or loss or expenses, should be charged in profit and loss account. Then third one, an intangible asset that is retired from active use held for disposal is carried at its carrying amount at the date when the asset is retired from active use. Usually the intangible asset that is retired from active use, usually ಒಂದು ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅನ್ನು ಪ್ರಾಮಾಣಿಕ ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇದ್ರೆ ಅದನ್ನು ರಿಟೈರ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ಹೆಲ್ಡ್ ಫಾರ್ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಲ್, ಅದನ್ನು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡದೇ ಇಲ್ಲ ಅಂದಾಗ ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಡಿಸ್ಪೋಸಲ್ ಫ್ರಮ್ ದ ವಿತಿನ್ ಸ್ಟಿಪ್ಯುಲೇಟೆಡ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡ್ ಆರ್ ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಇಯರ್ ಫೈನಾನ್ಷಿಯಲ್ ಇಯರ್, ಅಥವಾ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಡ್ ಅಟ್ ಇಟ್ಸ್ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ at the date when the asset is retired from active use. ಯಾವ ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಅದು ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡೋಕೆ ಆಗ್ತಾ ಇಲ್ಲ ಆ ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡೋದು, ಸ್ವಲ್ಪ ದಿವಸ ಇಟ್ಕೊಂಡಾದ್ರೂ ಅದನ್ನು ಮಾರಾಟ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಅಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದು ಸರಿಯಾಗಿ ಕಂಪನಿಗೆ ಲಾಭ ಅಂದರೆ those assets which cannot be generated to income to the business enterprises, automatically those assets should be retired and disposal from the stopping date of active use. When it's stopped is active use. Okay, let's move another topic. Next slide. What are the disclosure requirement? Disclosure requirement here, disclosure requirement means disclosure requirement of impairment loss. First one, how do you disclose impairment loss? First one, the useful lives or amortization rates used. Amortization rates used. Disclosure, how do you show in the disclosure or financial statements or any profit and loss or balance sheet? First one, useful lives or amortization rates. How much here lives of intangible assets, then what is the rate used for amortizing on intangible assets. Second one, what is the amortization method used? What is the amortization method used? Basically amortization method is a parallel depreciation. It means that straight line method is usually used under calculating intangible assets as amortization. Third one, gross carrying amount and the accumulated amortization or are aggregated with accumulated impairment loss at the beginning and end of the period. The gross carrying amount means total amount, then accumulated depreciation or accumulated amortization. Accumulated means which is kept in the old balance sheet at the beginning. What is the difference between the beginning and carrying amount should be subtracted, then the subtracted after the balance amount should be shown. Then fourth one, reasons for amortization of intangible assets over the more than 10 years. The amortization should not be exceed 10 years. ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್, ಯಾಕೆ ನಾವು ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದ್ರ, ಯಾಕೆ ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡಿದ್ವಿ ಅನ್ನೋದು ರೀಸನ್ನ ಕೊಡಬೇಕು. ಅದ್ರ ಜೊತೆಗೆ ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ ಓವರ್ ಮೋರ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ 10 years. ರೀಸನ್ ಫಾರ್ ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಯಾಕೆಂದರೆ ಯಾವುದೇ ಒಂದು ಇಂಟ್ಯಾಂಜಿಬಲ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ಸ್ಗೆ 10 ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಅಂದರೆ ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಪೀರಿಯಡನ್ನು ಲಾಕ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಅಮೋಟೈಸೇಷನ್ said that the amortization period, there is a habitual presumption that the useful life of an asset will not exceed 10 years from the date when the asset is available for use. Okay. Okay. Here the example is impairment of an example on goodwill impairment. Impairment involves comparison of the book value of the asset with its estimated recoverable amount. Example ನೋಡ್ಕೊಳ್ರಿ ಇದನ್ನ. The recoverable amount is defined as the value of an asset, either the price it would fetch if sold or its value of the company when used, whichever is larger figure. If the recoverable amount is less than carrying value, the cash generating unit, CGU shortcut, CGU is said to be impaired. In this case, the goodwill value needs to be reduced so that the recoverable amount of the cash generating unit is equal to the carrying value. first third paragraph ಏನು ಹೇಳ್ತದೆ, if the recoverable amount is less than carrying value, recoverable amount ಕಡಿಮೆ ಇದ್ದು ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂಗಿಂತ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಅದು ಕ್ಯಾಶ್ ಜನರೇಟಿಂಗ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಏನಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಇಂಪೇರ್ ಮಾಡಲೇಬೇಕು ಅನಿಸುತ್ತೆ. ಇನ್ ದಿಸ್ ಕೇಸ್ ಗುಡ್ ವಿಲ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂನ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ. ಯಾವಾಗ ರಿಡ್ಯೂಸ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು, ಇಫ್ ದ ಕ್ಯಾರಿಂಗ್ ಕಾಸ್ಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಲೆಸ್ ದ್ಯಾನ್ recoverable amount, then only the goodwill should be reduced. The automatically CGU, capital generating units, is equal. Vice versa, ಅದು ಉಲ್ಟಾ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಏನು ಮಾಡೋದು, ವಿಚ್ ಎವರ್ ಇಸ್ ಹೈಯರ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂವನ್ನು ಕನ್ಸಿಡರ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಮೇಲೆ ಎರಡನೇ ಪ್ಯಾರಾಗ್ರಾಫ್, ದ ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಇಲ್ಲಿದೆ. ದ ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಈಸ್ ಡಿಫೈನ್ಡ್ ಅಟ್ ದ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಅನ್ ಅಸೆಟ್ ಅಂತ ಇದೆಯಲ್ಲ, ಇದು ನೋಡ್ಕೊಂಡ್ರೆ ನಿಮಗೆ ಐಡಿಯಾ ಬರ್ತದೆ. ಲಾಸ್ಟ್ ಒಂದು ಸೆಂಟೆನ್ಸ್ ಇದೆ, ಇದು ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಹೇಗಾಗುತ್ತೆ ಅಂತ. ದ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಆಸ್ ಎ ಸಪ್ರೇಟ್ ಲೈನ್ ಐಟಮ್ ಆನ್ ದ ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಅಂಡ್ ನ್ಯೂ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ಈಸ್ ರಿಪೋರ್ಟೆಡ್ ಇನ್ ದ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್. ಅಂದರೆ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸನ್ನು ರಿಪೋರ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ತೋರಿಸಲೇಬೇಕಾಗುತ್ತೆ, ಅದು ಇನ್ಕಮ್ ಸ್ಟೇಟ್ಮೆಂಟಲ್ಲಿ. ಮತ್ತು ನ್ಯೂ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟೆಡ್ ವ್ಯಾಲ್ಯೂ ಆಫ್ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ಮತ್ತು ಹೊಸದಾಗಿ ಗುಡ್ವಿಲ್ ಕೂಡ ಅಡ್ಜಸ್ಟ್ ಮಾಡಿ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟಲ್ಲಿ ತೋರಿಸಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಎಕ್ಸಾಂಪಲ್. ಓಕೆ, impairment involves means comparison of the book value of the asset with its estimated recoverable amount. Okay, it is the best example of goodwill on regarding impairment. The continuous part is here research phase. It means say that when the research phase, what I could explain in the last slide means what? To assess whether internally generated intangible assets meets the criteria for recognition, an enterprise should classify the generation into two, yes, research phase and development phase. If it is not possible to distinguish the research phase from the development phase, the enterprise should treat the entire expenditure as having been spent on research phase. If the enterprises should treat entire expenditure having been spent on research phase. Here the research phase means it is a original and planned investigation undertaken with this prospect and gaining new scientific and technical knowledge and understanding. The same meaning I explained in the earlier slides or previous slides which came on under types of intangible assets, research and development. The same meaning I quote here. The research means the original, it is an investigation and gaining of new scientific and technical knowledge and understanding. What are the components of cost during the research? What are the costs are usually occurred during the research phase? Cost of material and services used, cost of personnel directly engaged in research or amortization, patents or license or any intangible assets, overheads incurred on research. These are the components comes under research during the research. Now how do you treat the cost under research phase? The cost should be recognized. The cost should be those costs incurred on research or are under the research phase. The cost should be treated as an expense or expense when it is incurred. Then how do you disclose requirements or disclose in the financial statement research phase expenses or research phase items? Aggregate amount of research expenditure recognized as expenses. Any expenses or any cost of material, services or cost of personally incurred directly incurred for research or overhead incurred relating to the research, those expenses should be treated as, those items should be treated as expenses, has to be shown as expenses in statement of profit and loss. Okay, next phase is development phase. First one is research, second one is development phase. What do you mean by development phase? Development, I could explain in the last slides, the same meaning I put here. What do you mean by development phase? Development is the application of research. Keep it in mind. Research is a finding, it is a innovation, and what I mean, research is a original and planned investigation, but development is the application of research findings and or other knowledge to plan to a plan or design for production of new substantial improved materials. Substantial means if the amount or materials or devices is the large of the considerable high the improved substantially means that high or gananiya dodda pramanadalli materials, devices, products, processes, systems. It means say that totally development is the application of research findings or other knowledge to plan or design for production of new substantial improved materials, devices, products, process systems are called development phase. What are the components comes under development phase? Same, which are the items comes under research phase. The same items are coming here or as usually here. Cost of material and services used, cost of personnel directly engaged in development or amortization of license, then overhead heads incurred on development. These are the components or cost comes usually occur during the development phase. How do you treat the cost under development phase? Example, as per Accounting Standard 28, recognition amount should not be exceed recoverable amount. Recognized amount should not exceed its recoverable amount. Now recognize ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಕ್ಕಂಥ ಅಮೌಂಟು ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟು ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಹುದು ರಿಕವರಬಲ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ. ಅದು ಅಕೌಂಟಿಂಗ್ ಸ್ಟ್ಯಾಂಡರ್ಡ್ 28 ಪ್ರಕಾರ ಅಟ್ ಈಚ್ ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಪ್ರತಿಯೊಂದು ಬ್ಯಾಲೆನ್ಸ್ ಶೀಟ್ ಡೇಟಿಗೆ ಈ ಇನ್ಕರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಯಾವುದೋ ರೆಕಗ್ನೈಸ್ಡ್ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಅಂಡರ್ ಡೆವಲಪ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಫೇಸಲ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಇನ್ಕರ್ಡ್ ಮಾಡಿರ್ತೀವಲ್ಲ ಆ ಅಮೌಂಟು ಯಾವುದಕ್ಕಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು, ರಿಕವರಿ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ಗಿಂತ ಜಾಸ್ತಿ ಇರಬಾರ್ದು. ಅದು ರಿಕವರಿ ಇಫ್ ದ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ಎಕ್ಸೀಡ್ಸ್ ದ ರಿಕವರ್ ಅಮೌಂಟ್ ದೆನ್ ಇಮಿಡಿಯೇಟ್ಲಿ ಏನು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು ಅದನ್ನು ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ ಟ್ರೀಟೆಡ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ ಇಂಪೇರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಲಾಸ್ ಅಂತ ಟ್ರೀಟ್ ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಯಾವಾಗ ಇಫ್ when do you treat it is an impairment loss? If the amount exceeds the recoverable amount, then immediately an impairment loss should be recognized. Then how do you disclose in the financial statement or in books of accounts of development phase? Aggregate amount of development expenditure recognized as expenses during the period. The development phase expenditures, I mean the cost of material, services, cost of personal directly engaged development cost or amortization license, overheads has to be shown as expenses under or in statement of profit and loss or in profit and loss along with some financial statements. Okay, let us move summary of intangible assets. This is the final part of the presentation. This is the last slide of you people. As you can seeing this picture or seeing this slide. Summary: patent legal life is 20 years. The amortization is shorter of useful or legal life. Copyrights, life of the creator plus 70 years. The amortization is the shorter of useful or long legal life not exceeding 40 years. It means say that amortization should not be exceed 40 years for copyrights, but legal life should be as per the federal government laws or any rules made by federal governments or any according to the laws. LAWS laws means ಕಾನೂನುಗಳ ಪ್ರಕಾರ. ಸೊ ಲೈಫ್ ಕ್ರಿಯೇಟರು ಪ್ಲಸ್ ಎಷ್ಟು ಮಾಡಿರ್ತಾನೆ ಪ್ಲಸ್ 70 ವರ್ಷ ಕೂಡಿಸಿದ್ದು ಮಾಡಬೇಕು. ಫ್ರಾಂಚೈಸು ಮತ್ತು ಲೈಸೆನ್ಸಿಗೆ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಅಗ್ರಿಮೆಂಟ್ ಮೇಲೆ ಡಿಪೆಂಡ್ ಆಗಿರ್ತದೆ. ಇದನ್ನು ಶಾರ್ಟರ್ ಆಫ್ ಕಾಂಟ್ರಾಕ್ಚುಯಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಆರ್ ಯೂಸ್ಫುಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಇದನ್ನು ಇದ್ರ ಮೇಲೆ ಅಮೋರ್ಟೈಸೇಷನ್ ಮಾಡ್ಬೋದು. ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ನೇಮ್ಸ್ ಮತ್ತು ಟ್ರೇಡ್ ಮಾರ್ಕ್ಸ್ ಲೀಗಲ್ ಲೈಫ್ ಒಂದು ಅನ್ಲಿಮಿಟೆಡ್ ಇರ್ತದೆ. ಅದನ್ನು ರಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ಕೊಂತ ಇದ್ದರೆ ಎವ್ರಿ 10 ಇಯರ್ಸಿಗೆ ರಿನ್ಯೂ ಮಾಡ್ತಾ ಇರಬೇಕು. ಇದು ಬರೀ ಇಂಪೇರ್ಮೆಂಟ್ ಟೆಸ್ಟಿಗೆ ಅಷ್ಟೇ ಮಾಡ್ತೀವಿ, ಅಟ್ಲೀಸ್ಟ್ ಆ್ಯನ್ಯುವಲಿ. ಇಟ್ ಶುಡ್ ಬಿ test for impairment at least annually under amortization. In process of R&D, research and development, the legal life is unlimited, but it should be under amortization. Amortization purpose, impairment test is can be done or can be make it properly. Goodwill, legal life is unlimited. Under amortization, impairment test can opt only. Impairment test can opt only. Materials. Above slides I have made on these some references. ICI study materials. Go through these references for you for the sake of your knowledge. Go through, if you want to gain knowledge, go through you people go through these references. You will get maximum information. Thank you one and all. Thank you one and all once again. Have a progress in time. Thank you for kind attentions. Anyhow, have a progress in time. Good luck and goodbye.